There we go. We are live, Albs. Welcome to Chasing the Sun, live Instagram edition. And of course, this is Albert Nicholas. Alberto. So we're just going to wait on Colby coming on because I think he needs to request to join the video. So we're just going to wait on that happening. But in the meantime, did everyone watch the first episode with the Lanes? Oh, we've got people coming on now. Evening, Amy. Good to see you. Oh, look, we can wave at other people. Look at that. So we're back in Sunrise Studios. So here he is. So Colby's on. Evening, Nays. Just have to wait for Colby to join the live and we can get going. Is there any questions that you want to ask, Albs? So this guy, Colby, is in e-commerce. Here we go. Colby. See if we can get him on. See if this internet is all this cracked up to be. Waiting for real Colby. Let's hope we've all got reception. Let's hope that the new internet works. In the meantime, Albs, how's your day been, mate?
Good.
What did we learn at school? Anything good?
Maths, literature.
Forget all that. Any swear words?
No.
No, of course we didn't. We learned them on the way to school, don't we? What's your favourite swear word? What's your favourite swear word, bro? Yes! Here he is. Evening.
We in here.
We love it.
We out here. How you doing, my friend?
I was hoping you'd wear the glasses, man.
Yes, I gotta rock the Snapchat spectacles. You already know.
Yes.
I'm driving. When people are driving crazy, you gotta hit that for traffic.
Say no more. And you're on your way to a meeting, yeah?
Yeah, I actually am on the way to a little meeting with a friend of mine who's a musician. He has a friend of his who's a videographer, and we're gonna see if we can collaborate a little bit to get some better video content. But anyways, I see you over there. You're putting out quite a bit of content, and I like the positive vibes coming out of the UK. Tell me a little bit. This is your show, Chasing the Sun. So don't I don't want to be running a monologue here or anything like that. But I'm really interested in what you've got going on. What exactly is the purpose of the show? Do you have a specific message that you're trying to get out with Chasing the Sun?
Yeah, man. So Chasing the Sun is a lot like what you're doing. So the premise is to escape the 9 to 5. It's Chasing the Sun is about people that are living their life on their terms. So like you're doing really well with the e-commerce business, and you're, trying to empower others to kind of say, look, there's another way. Instead of doing a 9 to 5, you can really live life on your terms. For me, Chasing the Sun,
just getting started, mate.
Pardon?
Just getting started, mate. We're just getting started.
Yeah, exactly. So I watched your vlog, and you've done over 500,000 in revenue. So congratulations, sir. That was
Appreciate it, man.
No drama. 2018. So what's going to change in 2019? How are you going to kind of upscale it from there? How are you going to crush it, as Gary Vee would say?
Yeah. So a big thing for me, what's really important to me is keeping it real. And that's why I was really happy to get the Insta handle Real Colby, because that's what I want to do with social media, is keep it 100 with everybody. First with myself. What's most important is I got to keep it real with me. Otherwise, you can't keep it real with anybody else if you're not keeping it real with yourself.
Yeah, I saw that today, man. And I that like me, you use social media to keep yourself accountable.
You have to. And I think that social media, I don't want to get off too far on a tangent, but I think social media can be a powerful tool to help with accountability. And the interesting thing is, I think that either social media is helping you stay accountable, or or you're off the reservation and you're living some sort of fake life or something, and you're presenting an image which isn't real. So it's kind of one way or the other. You're either presenting life for real, or you're just trying to put on a facade of some sort, and it's all cap, as we say over here.
I hear that. So
basically where I was going with that is because you asked me, what's going on in 2019. 2018 was, I made a living in 2018, doing what I counted to be just over 576 in 1,000 in gross sales. So I made a living, but I'm really starting to think about how to grow, because I'm realizing that basically if you don't grow, you're gonna contract, and you're either pushing out into greater territory and you're expanding, or you're contracting.
100%.
And
100%. I agree.
And so I'm just fully realizing that 2019 is going to really it's going to show what I'm made of, in the sense that I'm either going to continue to grow, or I'm going to take a step back. If you look at the business that I've been conducting, if you look at the business, and sorry, I was driving. I'm back.
Yeah.
So if you look at the business, it's been consistent growth. It's been obviously it's not pure growth. There's always, if you look at a graph, it's going to be like that. But it's been consistent growth. The interesting thing is that as you grow, it gets more difficult to grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So each time you level up, it becomes exponentially more difficult to level up again.
Yeah. And for those who are watching, let's do a little bit of background on exactly what it is you do. What is e-commerce? Because some people tuning in won't know what e-commerce is.
It's commerce, but on the internet. It's the future of commerce. So 100 years ago, if you wanted some oranges, you had to go walk down the street or ride a horse or something to find some oranges. Now Amazon will basically drop it off at your house in an hour, depending on where you live. That's the way things are going. Everything's becoming digital. So commerce is the way that people transact, and the way that people are doing business is mostly on the internet nowadays. So it's just simply doing business on the internet, selling stuff on the internet, goods or services.
And how old are you, Colby?
I'm 28. I'm getting old. I just turned 28 this month, actually.
I'm 37, so you're a young pup for me, man.
Yeah. I wanted to say 27. I haven't even realized that it was my birthday.
Oh, bless you. Happy birthday, sir. How did you get into e-commerce? So what were you doing before e-commerce? Did you have a regular job like everybody else? And where did that shift come where you decided, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to go and live life on my terms, become my own boss. And I see now that you're also employing some of your friends.
Right. Technically, it's they're independent contractors, but
self-employed.
But tomato. Right. Yeah. But I want employees. And I want, and that leads to the whole growth thing. Basically, what I want to share with you is that I'm realizing that the only way I'm going to grow is if I start to employ others, and if I start to partner with others.
Yeah, most definitely. And I guess,
the only way
like this, and people will now know you and go and follow you from this, and vice versa. People will kind of and it is about collaborating. And what I've noticed by putting my message out and kind of telling my truth, you start to attract others that are like-minded, like yourself. I don't even know how we have kind of crossed paths. maybe through like maybe Gary V or Grant
I think
Cardone
so.
or one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think you know, we've just maybe followed each other and thought, do you know what? He's got something to say, man. And I like what you're putting out. And you do the little thing with the with your scanner, and you got your, you know, you've got your anchors like I have. I didn't realize that I have them. I've got certain things that I do regularly that people tune in for, and they go, ah, you know, it's almost like watching TV to a certain extent. And once people realize the power of social media, and I'll be speaking a lot about that on my podcast with on Saturday, and we really identified on where my friend kind of just identified the opportunity and the bigger picture of social media.
Right, right. A lot of people like to think that social media is vanity when, you know, it is, but it's also very practical, and it can be used for good reasons, such as connecting with people, and developing relationships, partnerships, business, and like I said, it can help you hold yourself accountable as well. But I'm super happy that we linked up, man. I like your work. I like how you're gassing people up and letting people know that there's opportunity.
Yeah, man. You too. You too. So tell me a little bit about what you do on a daily basis. So you're obviously putting in the work, and you're all about the grind and the hustle. What does a day in the life of Colby Noe look like? From the moment you wake up, you know, the hours that you're putting in, and because I vaguely remember that weren't you living in you were living in a car at some point, and now you know, you've managed to invest in a nice home and a nice Audi, but you know, you recognize that the sky is the limit, and you're just looking for that growth to kind of take it to the next level constantly, which is really inspirational.
Yeah, man. I wanna hit all those questions because they're all really good. Yeah, I was living in a van. I lived in a van for 3 years, and
Amazing.
you and I don't know.
Gary V would say.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, but the thing is it was. I've always done things like kind of differently, and that was actually a choice. I wanted to save money, and that was the way that I thought I could do it.
Yeah.
That led me to, I originally moved to Kentucky to work, to manage a trucking company. I did that for 3 years.
Wow.
And I drove a bus. I drove a public bus at one point. I lived in the van. Then eventually I traded the van for a car. And so living in the van allowed me to get a car paid off. So I traded a van for a new car, a brand new car, paid off cash on the trade, and somehow I worked out a good trade on that. And then I drove that car for Uber and made and the car paid itself off easily, you know, and I made a living doing that for a while. Then basically, you know, I had dabbled in e-commerce a little bit here and there. You know, when I was a kid, even I had an eBay store. But anyways, when I was Ubering, I would roll around, and then after you would do an Uber ride, you would have a lot of free time, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I did with my free time. I just started finding deals. I started thrifting. I started looking at what I could sell on eBay. Eventually, I ran into a guy who was out scanning for Amazon, and basically he gave me the little bit of motivation to push me over the edge and actually get involved into it as soon as because I always knew it was something you could do, but I didn't take the time to look into it, and I didn't seriously do the research. But then when I ran into somebody,
what is this going scanning? Because I picked it up from you, and then I asked you, what are these apps it is you're using? One was, I think, Scoutly, and the other one was Amazon Seller. So yeah,
Yeah.
just tell me a little bit about that and maybe how other people could do that.
There's multiple apps, but yeah, you can scan in the Amazon app itself. You can scan on the eBay app itself.
Yeah. Because I know you go to a lot
And
of outlet stores, don't you? So essentially you go to an outlet and you scan the items, and if they're selling on Amazon for more than you can buy them for,
yeah,
then you'll buy them in bulk and then flip them. Yeah.
exactly. That's the basic
So that's
concept.
the ins and outs of it, yeah? So
Pretty
you
much.
literally just go to
Yeah.
an outlet store, and I know you get the discount cards as well. You're like, you got more cards than Paul Daniels, and you won't understand that joke because that's an old British magician. So he's always got cards. But every time I see you've got these discount cards, family and friends, I'm like, boy, he's got some friends in some high places, man. You must do some dough in that store.
Yeah, you've got to take advantage of all the deals you can get because you're not just trying to save money, you're trying to make money.
Exactly.
So you gotta squeeze those margins. You gotta squeeze all the juice you can out of the fruit.
Yeah. And how did you decide when you got into e-commerce? I guess you got a little hand up from your friend, but how did you decide what kind of products that you were going to sell? Because a lot of people think, I want to get into it, but how do you find out what is going to sell and what isn't? So, you don't want to buy a load of bulk and then get stuck. Like fidget spinners were massive
I've been there.
6 months and then they're gone. So you can jump on a wave of that. You can make a lot of money in a very short time. But, you seem to be doing month on month, year on year growth, and I noticed that some of the items that you sell, either they're really big or just the boxes are really big. How do you decide on what, where do you think, I'm going to sell that item?
Yeah. So I'll sell anything that's going to sell. If I can make money on something, I don't care what it is, frankly. But I'm doing a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes, a lot of electronics, some hardware. I go through phases where I get a lot of this, and then it's kind of seasonal. Where some things are available during certain seasons. It might be off season where you can pick up a bunch of stuff that, for example, you could pick up a bunch of winter wear in the summer when you can get a huge discount on that. But it's about what's available, really. What was your other question?
I was just going to say, so where did you make the decision when you first started to sell? Because you got that little bit of advice from your friend, and then when you decided, right, I'm going to go into the e-commerce, what was the first product you decided to sell, for example?
Right. So he actually wasn't my friend. He was just some random dude.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just some random dude.
You obviously cross paths for a reason.
Right. And now we're friends. After I got involved in the game, we started running into each other a little bit more often. But anyways, how did I decide? I just basically what I found out pretty quickly. If you look at my Instagram, I don't think I can throw a picture up on here, but one of the things that I found out pretty quickly is that there's a lot of things you can't sell.
Yeah.
I bought a flatbed of 82 pairs of shoes, and I actually didn't have a way of moving them.
Oh, really?
But I eventually got them moved. It was really, it was a really interesting challenge to run into right off the bat.
And I guess you have to kind of think fast, right? And you have to kind of maneuver your way out of it. And I bet it's great character building.
True, and of course you don't want to be returning stuff, and there's rookie mistakes that if you start trying to get involved in the flip game and you start trying to live that flip life and whatever, there's going to be mistakes. You're going to learn your lessons and take some losses, etc. But I'm trying to think of the first things I bought. I bought some electronics. I I went all in on those shoes just based purely on intuition. I've got a funny video of my friend and I hauling these 82 pairs of shoes up into my apartment back when I was doing that, and they filled my apartment. Like, this is completely ridiculous. The way we used to roll, my friend Ben and me, is we used to buy all this stuff. We would load up. My car was too small, and that's why I got the big car, not because I wanted a big car. If it was up to me, I'd still be rolling in the small car. But I need more room. I just don't have room. I'd fill it up every day. So, like, what we used to do is we used to roll into FedEx with all this merchandise, and we would process it. We would bag it at FedEx. We'd put it all on their tables. We would use FedEx as a processing center. And that they got tired of that because we'd roll in there every day and shut it down with a bunch of stuff. They're like, you guys, this is getting completely ridiculous.
I bet.
So they basically kicked us out of FedEx.
What?
And what's, they want people dropping stuff off. They don't want you making a warehouse assembly line out of their place.
I bet.
But it worked while it lasted, and like it's been a constant process of trying to figure out what works better. Like it went from my apartment and processing stuff there. And like the way I packaged those shoes was completely ridiculous. Again, I literally just saran wrapped like 40 shoes at a time and sent them off, and Amazon sent me an email. They're like, dude, what are you doing? That's not how you ship stuff. It's been totally trial and error, my friend.
Like everything is.
Pretty much. And that's why most people don't do it, because they're shook. They don't want to give it a shot because they don't want like to look at the FedEx manager who's giving them a bad look. I didn't care. I got to get this bread. Like I'm out here trying to get my money right. I don't care what people think about it.
And you seem really motivated. How do you stay so motivated? Do you do much personal development?
I'm just stoked on life, my friend. And you know what? Like that's why I think we get along so well.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I hear what you're putting out, and it's just straight, positivity and YOLO, and I fuck with that. Pardon my language.
No. I hear that. So what's a long-term goal? Where do you see yourself like in a year's time? Obviously, you've got your goals, but what's the dream? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time?
Yo, I'm thinking like 1 year time. I think 5 years is like kind of long, far away. 5 years we're fighting robots, man. Amazon takes the world over.
A lot can change in 5 years, the way that we sell and buy. You never know what's around the corner. Because I know Amazon are coming hard. We now buy our drinks through Amazon Fresh. And literally, say, for example, it's coming up to 6:30 here. I could order drinks for us tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. In the UK, if we wanted to buy that from any of the big supermarkets, we would need a 2 or 3 day window to do that. So they are utilizing their already established delivery network to be able to do stuff like, you call it groceries, we call it shopping. So those kind of products, and I noticed that they are getting a lot quicker. And now you can get same day delivery on some products. And as you were saying, within like central London, for example, they do within the hour, they can deliver your lunch, for example. So they are coming strong, Amazon. Amazon, are
they're
really smashing it.
Absolutely. And that, basically, I think that getting heavily into the e-commerce game is the biggest opportunity that I can think of, hands down. Yeah. If I could think of a bigger opportunity that had a low barrier of entry, if I could get into a bigger opportunity, that's what I'd be doing, of course.
Where do people start? For other people that want to do what you do, either in the UK or in the US, is there any resource? Is there any websites that they can look at? Because I know, I kind of looked at stuff before when I've looked at all sorts of things like e-commerce. I looked at, Shopify sites. Obviously I've got my journal, which I sell directly on Amazon. And because I originally got into network marketing with my wife, and I loved the concept, but I didn't like selling other people's products. So what I decided that I wanted to sell my own products and services. So I really like the social media game, and using this premise of one, building your personal brand, because once people get to know you on a more personal level, then that you're instantly more personable, and people trust you. And when you want the best for other people the same way you want for yourself, and you are living this and you do genuinely want to win, I think, like you, people can resonate with it.
Right. Establishing a reputation is super important, and people start to know you. I've made really good friends that have started by just linking up on Instagram or wherever, and and that's what I'm talking about how social can be real.
Yeah, because you're saying that you want people to work with you. How do people work with you? Is it something that's available internationally, or is it just that people in your local vicinity? You actually need them. You want them to work with you in the immediate area. How can I help you kind of, get what it is you're looking for example?
Yeah. So I'm in the process right now of looking into expanding into the UK. I know that there's a lot of Amazon sellers that are operating at high levels, and they're actually doing more business in the UK than they are the United States.
Wow.
So that's interesting to me, because I'm only doing business in the US right now, and you talk about how do you level up? There is no staying the same. You can't stay the same. So you're either leveling up or you're leveling down, and so that's one way that I can look into expanding my business or even doubling it. So I really am excited. I want to tell you about what I'm working on at the moment, which is I'm looking at getting other people involved. Right now, I have a couple of my friends working with me part-time and just helping me get the shipments out and process shipments, etc. I want more people helping me in the warehouse, but furthermore, to add to that, I'm yesterday with a friend of mine that I've known about. What I told him is that people can get started. They don't need me to get started. I'm not selling anything that I'm some sort of gatekeeper and you need me to get started or you need anybody else. But the fact of the matter is that there are tons of resources and assets that are available to people.
Yeah.
As far as people that are resellers, hashtag reseller community, and you're going to find tons of help you figure things out. A lot of phonies that are just from a stupid course, or they're hurting themselves really doing it, and they're fugazi.
Yeah.
So you have to have discernment in somebody that ain't doing it. There's plenty of Instagram and elsewhere. I would say don't buy anybody's course. You don't need that.
Yeah.
And the real answer is just do it. Like
Grant
Cardone. Yeah, like Grant Cardone might like he says, just don't be a little. That's what it comes down to, kind of. I mean, get it doing
your training wheels before you ride on a Harley Davidson or whatever.
Yeah.
I say that because this guy just pulled up on a Harley Davidson at the post office, but anyways, you can do it. If they want to work with someone bigger, and I'm thinking about how do I get other people involved, because selling and when you start into
and trying to make a living and whatnot, it's
easy. It ain't.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sell people.
Easy money because
But here's the thing: is and this is still in like concept form. I'm just now starting to develop a program
where they can help me find with retail items you're out scanning, and when scanning barcodes, they can do it themselves.
over with me, and I'll do all the hard work. They find the deals, I move the product, and they get a commission or a finder fee for working with me and finding the deals. That's easy, much easier than doing it all yourself. Don't get me wrong; it's worth it if you want to do your own thing. I encourage people to do that. But if people also want to partner with me, it's a lot easier to do it that way. So find the deals. It's not easy to get ungated and sell a lot of different brands and products. And I'm already good to go. I'm already set up. So if people want to make some money in e-commerce, do it. You can do it yourself, or you can partner.
Cool. That sounds good. So if people do want to start, and because we've got something over here, I think you guys call it a garage sale, and I'm not sure if you've seen Gary V's Trash Talk. We're thinking about doing something on Sunday with the kids. We're going to have like a little stall outside to get rid of some of their unused toys. I think Jade is thinking about baking some cakes, just to kind of get the kids into the habit of kind of, selling things and doing things for themselves. So we have a car boot sale over here. So a lot of people, they go to a car boot sale and they'll buy something and then they'll sell it online for more than they buy it. So that's like retail arbitrage. That's a little bit like what you do. You do it on a much grander scale. For people that want to get involved over here, what are the apps that they can download? What's the tangible, what can they go? So Amazon Reseller is one of them.
Right.
Shoutly is another one.
Jamie, I think if people want to get started, do it right. Don't cut corners. Don't rush into things and muck it up, my friend. So what I want your listeners to hear loud and clear is make sure you're doing it the right way and in an organized way. That's one thing I could work on is being more organized. But I really recommend that you want to have success with eBay before you start on Amazon. Amazon is a different beast altogether, and it's really easy to get yourself in a mess, and you don't want to do that. So do eBay first. Get success with eBay first. Try these other apps, StockX, Poshmark, etc., and work with those first. And then when you're really serious about your business, get involved with Amazon and try to scale an Amazon business, FBA, which really allows a single person like myself to like do more business. I mean, the only reason I'm able to do gross sales in 6 figures is predominantly because they're doing the hard work. They're doing the physical labor. They're shipping. They are doing all the shipments. So like right here, I'm at the post office right now, and I'm shipping out 4 or 5 packages. No big deal. Because that's side hustle stuff. But Amazon, in the meantime, they're sending me an email every 10 minutes that they're shipping something, and it's like it's just a different.
It allows for you a lot more. But my point is don't just rush in.
The audio keeps going intermittently. I'm not sure if it's your reception.
I'm sorry, man. Sorry about that.
That's okay. What was your last comment?
Get your feet.
Okay, to try your luck on eBay before you go on to Amazon. No, I think the audio is coming through your earpods, which are in your pocket.
My bad. Can I hear you now?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, my bad.
That's okay. Cool. All right. Well, we just wanted to. So the long-term goal? So in a year's time, where do you want to see yourself? So you want some people working with you? You want to build your business up?
That's the only way I'm going to grow, my friend. That's the only way I'm going to grow is if I have other people working with me. One person can only do so much. You have to develop win-win partnerships to really win. So right now I'm working with my closest friends, and I want them to get in the game. I want them to realize that you can really make some serious money doing this. And then I want to take it to the world. So
cool.
friends of friends. It's right now it's just having people help me in the warehouse, and also starting to open up communication with other people that want to get involved, because pretty soon I'm going to be we're going to fully launch the Scan Gang thing, where other people can just help me find the deals and make quick money that way. If you've never messed with Amazon before, then I would recommend working with someone like myself before you jump in heads first.
Cool.
So,
and if anyone's interested, they can drop you a line. Anyone watching today or within the next 24 hours, and they want to learn more about it, they're okay to come to you and say, I really was intrigued by what you were talking about with Jamie. Tell me more.
For sure. I'm totally open to partnering up with people and figuring out how we can win-win.
Amazing. All right, man. Well, it looks like you're on your grind. You're in the post office. I'm not going to keep you from your business. So it was great to chat. If there's anything you need from me, by all means, drop me a line, and I'm sure we'll speak soon, yeah?
Thank you so much, man. It's been good chasing the sun. Thank you.
Care. Ciao for now.
And yo, save this video. If you could send it to me, I'd appreciate it.
No drama. Will do. Take care.
Thanks, man.
Bye, mate.